We have a family of 6. Can we be seated? I think you know this, but you're not family. Could you leave now? The number of people the daughter-in-law mentioned didn't match the number of people actually present. We were supposed to be a party of 7. She deliberately left me out when speaking to the waitstaff. The waitstaff looked confused after hearing her words. Even I didn't know what to do. Amid the awkward tension, my daughter-in-law's mom urged me to leave, saying I wasn't family. I had no choice but to leave. Why did this happen when all I wanted was to get along as a family? What on earth did I do? What did I do to deserve this? I didn't know what had upset them, but it seemed someone couldn't tolerate their behavior. My name is Emily, a 60-year-old housewife. I lived with my husband. Our son Liam got married, and we were looking forward to a peaceful retirement. Liam's wife, Grace, is a difficult person. She even refused to let us see our grandchild when they had one. Liam managed to persuade her, and I saw my grandchild, who looked just like Liam, just once. I was smitten at first sight. When I reached out to hold my newborn grandchild, Grace shouted, "Stop! Don't touch the baby!" She snatched the baby away from me. Liam tried to reason with her, but she insisted, "You don't understand how scared I am of your mother." She never apologized. From that point, my relationship with Grace worsened, and Liam stopped coming home as much. It was sad not to see Liam and my grandchild, but I didn't want to risk another big fight. So I didn't push them and hoped to see them someday. Then one day, Liam invited us to dinner. Apparently, Harper knew someone who owned an expensive restaurant, and they thought it would be nice to bring the family. Don't worry about us. Grace will feel uncomfortable if I'm there. Don't say that. We rarely get to go to an expensive restaurant. Let us spoil you this time. I was concerned about Grace, but Liam insisted it was a good opportunity to strengthen our relationship, so I agreed. I had no idea this dinner would change my relationship with Grace so much. Days later, on the day Liam had set, we arrived early at the restaurant. Time passed, but Liam and his family didn't show up. We thought they might be late because of the grandchild, so we waited patiently. I talked about this with my husband as I waited for them to arrive. But even after 1 hour, then 2, there was no sign of them. I sent multiple messages to Liam's phone, but got no reply. After waiting for about 4 hours, we decided it was time to leave and sent Liam one last message. Late that night, Liam finally called. "Sorry, Mom. My phone was in for repairs." As soon as I answered the phone, Liam apologizes in a flustered tone. Still, not showing up at the agreed place is strange, no matter how you look at it. I tell Liam about what happened today and decide to ask for details. Then Liam tilts his head, saying, "Huh? The date for the dinner changed, actually." What do you mean? According to Liam, the dinner date had to be changed due to various scheduling conflicts. Grace was in charge of the arrangements and was supposed to inform each household once the new date was set. And just this morning, as if planned, Grace spilled a drink on Liam's phone. The phone wouldn't even turn on, so he had to rush to a smartphone repair shop. He just got it back. During that time, Liam couldn't check his phone, so he had no way of knowing about my multiple messages. "It's totally our fault. I'm really sorry." Liam apologizes repeatedly on the other end of the phone, but it's not Liam's fault. The one to blame is Grace, who didn't correct the wrong date. Don't apologize. It's not your fault. Upon hearing my words, Liam apologizes again and tells me the newly arranged date. "You don't have to come if you're upset. I'll talk to my wife." "Thank you. I'll go since it's a special occasion." When I say that, Liam lets out a sigh of relief. "Oh, I suspected today's events were orchestrated by Grace. She intentionally left the wrong date and broke Liam's phone to inconvenience us. I've been concerned about Grace's behavior for a while now, but this is crossing a line. I felt that something had to be done. But things moved faster than I thought. A few days later, on the newly arranged date, I wait in front of the agreed restaurant. Liam's family and Grace's parents arrive. "Ah, Miss Emily, it's been a while. How have you been?" Grace's mom, Harper, greets me. "I'm fine, thank you. How about you?" "We're doing great. My daughters often bring the grandchildren to visit," she says, boasting. Truth be told, I've never liked Harper. Ever since the meeting of both families before Liam's marriage, Harper has been hostile and aggressive towards me. She makes snide comments about her daughter cooking dinner or going on a trip soon. Words that can only be taken as insults from someone like me, who is disliked by Grace and rarely sees her. I suspect that Grace and Harper are collaborating to make me feel down. So I was prepared for something unpleasant to happen at today's dinner. "By the way, Miss Emily, do you know where we're going today?" "Yes, we're going to that expensive restaurant, right?" "Oh, you know. Interesting." As she says this, Harper looks me up and down. "Wondering if something was off," she says. "I apologize. You just don't look dressed for such a high-end place." And laughs. I thought I had prepared well for today. I even made sure to dress appropriately. So Harper's comment about my outfit was hard to swallow. I thought something understated would be best for a classy restaurant. I say this with a wry smile, and Harper nods. "I suppose," before walking over to talk to Grace. The atmosphere between us is already icy before we even enter the restaurant. Feeling uneasy, I decide to go in when Liam calls me over. As we enter, the waitstaff greets us. "Welcome." Grace steps forward and tells the waitstaff about the reservation, who then asks, "How many in your party?" We're a family of 6. Could you please show us to our table?" I find this puzzling and look around. My husband, Liam, Grace, our grandchild, Grace's parents, and me. That's 7 people, not 6. It's not 6, it's 7. I try to correct Grace, but Harper interjects. "You know you're not family. Could you please leave?" "What?" I'm stunned by Harper's words. Why am I the only one not considered family? What have I done? Why would you say something so cruel? I'm family too, aren't I? Can you stop it, mother-in-law? We're tired of pretending you're family when you don't even consider us. My daughter is hurt because of you, and you want to hurt her more? You really can't think of others, can you? I'm left speechless by the harsh words from Grace and Harper. Liam tries to intervene, but Grace shouts, "You stay out of this!" And he falls silent. Fine, I'll leave. I say this and exit the restaurant, as if fleeing. The waitstaff tries to stop me, but I'm beyond caring. Why am I the only one being treated this way? Why am I the only one being targeted? What have I done? I couldn't agree with Grace and Harper's attitude, but I didn't want to cause a scene, so I left. I hope they regret treating me this way. If they ever need help, I won't be there for them. With that resolve, I head home. I had no idea that the day would turn out like this. As I walk home, my phone rings. It's Grace. I'm not in the mood to talk to her, so I ignore it. Then my message notifications start pinging loudly. Mother-in-law, where are you? Please come back. Answer the phone. Hurry. The urgency is palpable in each message. Curious, I decide to answer Grace's call. Mother-in-law, thank God you answered. Where are you? Please come back to the restaurant right away. I'm on my way home. Why should I come back? You're the ones who kicked me out. Actually, Grace hesitates before explaining. To summarize, it turns out someone I know was at the restaurant. They saw me and wanted to say hello, but witnessed the harassment from Grace and Harper at the entrance. After I left, they confronted the two of them. "Please go back and explain to him that it wasn't harassment," Grace pleads. The man I know is still at the restaurant's entrance, apparently very angry and scolding both of them. I can hear his angry voice over the phone. "All right, I'll come back," I say, and Grace lets out a sigh of relief. But I'm not going back for her or Harper. I can't let my acquaintance continue to make a scene. I retrace my steps and hurry back to the restaurant. As I arrive, I hear the man's raised voice. His anger hasn't subsided. When he sees me, he quickly shouts, "Miss Emily! I'm sorry for causing a scene, but I couldn't stand their attitude towards you. There's no one as respectable as you, Miss Emily." "Mr. Daniel, you're exaggerating. I'm not that special." "What are you talking about? My company owes its success to you." He calms down and talks to me like he always does. Just as we're getting into our usual conversation, Grace interrupts. "Mother-in-law, how do you know this man? You seem very close, even though my father is here. Are you having an affair or something?" Harper joins in, laughing mockingly. My acquaintance's face tightens with anger again. "Miss Emily is my benefactor," he says and starts to explain. He's actually the CEO of a well-known corporation. We were friends in college. He was a shy, introverted person back then. I couldn't stand to see him so uncomfortable, so I reached out. We became close friends. He had a dream of starting a company. However, the reality is that once you start a business, things don't go well. But when he tried, he faced financial difficulties. I lent him a small amount of money, something a housewife could afford. Even though it was just that, he cried and thanked me, saying, "I'll definitely repay you someday." He thanked me tearfully and promised to repay the favor. And he did, turning his company into a major success. "I'm eternally grateful to Miss Emily," he says, making me a bit embarrassed. But Grace and Harper turn red with anger. "That's so unfair. Why does mother-in-law get all the good things? I've worked much harder." "Yeah, it's not fair. If we knew you were like this, we wouldn't have treated you this way." Grace and Harper start making a scene, shouting loudly. Seeing this, Grace's dad, my husband, and Liam are taken aback. This is all on them. If they had behaved better, none of this would have happened. "Your hearts aren't as pure as Miss Emily's. If you're jealous, reflect on your own actions first," Mr. Daniel says. Even then, Grace and Harper start causing a ruckus right at the restaurant entrance. "Enough is enough." The one who shouts at them is Liam. "How dare you treat someone's mother like this? I never thought you two could be so awful. I'm disappointed. Please just go home." At Liam's words, Grace and Harper turned pale. "Liam, calm down. Why are you saying such terrible things?" Grace tries to cozy up to Liam, but he shakes her off. He turns to my husband and me and says, "Let's go." We leave the restaurant, ignoring Grace's shouts of, "Wait!" Later, we enjoy a peaceful family dinner at a familiar restaurant we've always loved. After that, Liam and Grace end up getting divorced. I heard that Liam had been having doubts about Grace and Harper's attitudes for a while. Their cold behavior towards me. But he was afraid it might be a misunderstanding and kept watching. That incident made him decide to divorce. Since Grace had always been passive about parenting, Liam got custody. I also heard that Harper was asked for a divorce after that day. Grace was kicked out of the house, and now they're living in a small apartment, struggling to make ends meet. Apparently, Harper had to go to work day and night to pay compensation for the divorce case, and despite her age, she was living a very difficult life. On the other hand, Grace seems to have gone crazy after that incident and is just having fun, not thinking about Harper's hardships. Their lives falling apart seems inevitable. As for me, life has been peaceful since then. Raising a grandchild alone is tough for Liam, so they moved in with us, and we help take care of our adorable grandchild. I want to live happily ever after with my cute grandchild, Liam, and my husband.